good morning.
Good morning.
Let's move on to IELTS speaking section part 1. May I know your full name?
My full name is Suraj. Yes. You can address me as Suraj.
Okay. Where do you come from?
I come from a place called Chulimada, which is the largest district in Kerala.
What's most popular means of transportation in your hometown?
Talking about the transportation, I come from a small place, a village called in which the transportation is much limited out there. So I think the private buses are the main mode of transportation as well as the private vehicles, which is the main mode of transportation for the people out there and also the persons who work out there.
Is it convenient to take a bus or taxi in your city?
As I told, the private bus are more convenient because they are cheap and you can travel at any time. The buses are available, regular basis. After every 1 hour, there is a bus. So you can use bus as the mode of transportation if you don't have a private vehicle.
Okay. How often do you meet with your family?
Currently, I live with my family, so we don't go for a meetup or anything like that. But talking about the cousins and other members, we used to visit on an occasion like Onam festival and Vishu. During that time, we used to connect with each other, play some games, and having chit chat with each other. So that is the main occasion, only occasionally.
How has your family influenced you?
Yes, my family have influenced me in a very a bright manner, I can say. Even every steps in my life, as well as they have favored a lot of stuff. Even my education, my clothings, and each and everything which I have is owned by my family. So they have influenced in more in my decisions in my which I take to move forward with my career. So it's pretty much they have influenced a lot, I can say.
Have you ever bought something because of an advertisement?
Yes, I did. I've bought, skin products by looking at an advertisement when I was a child. During childhood, I'm quite interested to buy stuff like little stuff. Looking at the television, I used to watch cartoons a lot. So in that time, during the advertisement, if there is anything which is colorful and which just makes you brighter or something like that, I buy it
Oh,
at that once.
which is your favorite film?
Um, I don't have a specific film, but in my as my favorite, but I like J Beam.
Okay.
J Beam. It's a Tamil movie which was an actress Surya. It's a movie which is completely based on a real story and it has a like the social thing like social problems, I guess. Yeah, sorry, the social problems, and talks about the politics, what happens in Tamil Nadu, and about the tribal people, how they are treated in the society. So I like that film personally. So yeah.
How often do you read?
I'm not into reading much, but I used to listen audiobooks much. So recently I've started listening an audiobook called, How to Talk with Anyone. That is a book name I remember. So I listen that audio during the evening by having a cup of coffee and all. During my spare time, I used to listen a lot apart from reading.
What type of books children read nowadays?
These days, children are not into reading books, in my perspective. They are into social media much because everything is available in social media just in a click. Okay, so children are much using the social media and a lot of other apps to get information. So I think children in the past decades, children stopped reading the books, I guess.
Who is your favorite celebrity?
My favorite celebrity is Surya because he is kind and generous. His acting is also good, and when talking about his humor, he has a good humor which comes naturally. So I like Surya a lot.
This is end of speaking section part 1. Let's
Okay.
move on to speaking section part 2.
Okay.
Here is your cue card. Describe a technology that you have decided to use. And yeah, you have 1 minute to prepare, and I would like you to talk about 2 minutes. You may start.
Okay. So I like to talk about a technology which I used during my project as well as to my startup company. The technology is EEG. The EEG is the abbreviation for EEG is electron encephalography. It's basically used in neurotechnology. So neurotechnology is a developing field which communicates which interrupts with the brain waves and all, and I'm making like how can I say transferring the mind waves into an IoT, which is Internet of Things. So basically, I use the technology a couple of times, uh, which which is useful for the muted persons, especially. So I find a problem in the society is like the muted persons are being secluded from the society as they have a disability to talk, and they couldn't establish their full talents, as well as they can't build up their career in the society. So they face a lot of issues on that. Based on that, I've developed an idea which is helpful for the muted person as well as the person with ALS disease, which is the amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. So I help them. This technology helped me basically transfer your mind waves into a neural decoding, as well as from neural decoding you will get into a converted into an audio devices. So basically whatever the muted person want to communicate in their mind, it is transferred to an audio signals. So based on that, they only want to think what's in the mind. So based on that, they can have conversation just like a normal person. It's basically a research that I have done, and the technology was very good as it came from a different place. Not from India, it's from abroad. So I've got the technology and I used it very reluctantly, and it was pretty amazing. So far I have made some improvements in my research, and it helped a lot of persons. I took some tests in that. So that's the technology which I find it more interesting, and which I started using recently. So that's all about
Let's move on to the follow-up questions.
it. Okay.
Why you started using this?
As I told, basically this technology I've used because of a reason about for my project as well as my startup company. So that is the reason which I use.
Okay. What all are its advantages?
Basically, it helps the person with motor neuron disease as well as the person who can't talk. So it makes them to communicate with normal person.
Okay, let's move on to the follow-up questions. Why you started using this?
Basically, I'm doing a project regarding neurotechnology, and so based on that, I have to order this technology to do my research. So that's why I'm using this technology.
What all are its advantages?
The main advantage which I find is through my survey, muted persons as well as the person with ALS disease, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, that's the abbreviation for that disease. So the persons who can't talk, okay, so they are being secluded from the society, among the social circle and among their friends. So based on that, I find that they have difficulty in communication with other people, just like a normal human being. So the main advantage is like the whatever you think in the mind, it is transferred to a technology like a computer. After that, it is converted to an audio signals. So based on that, it will be helpful for the persons to communicate just like a normal person.
Do you think it has many importance in public?
Yes, it does. Basically, the main importance is all about, like I said, it will help the muted persons as well as the person with motor neuron disease. The person who want to do something, just consider for an example, the persons who are completely paralyzed, they couldn't talk, they need some help. So based on that, by using this technology, they can call out for any help and basic commands can be done. So that's the main importance of this technology.
Okay. Other than its benefits, you think that technology have any demerits?
Talking about the demerits, it doesn't have much demerits, but in the near future, it might affect the privacy of the people because
Okay.
whatever the people thinks coming to as an audio signals or audio messages.
Okay. Is there any demerits for this technology?
So far, I didn't find any demerits because it's basically helped the persons have unique disability. But in the near future, it might affect the privacy of the people. Just consider whatever you think in your mind, and it will convert it to an audio messages. It feels like the privacy is gone for a normal person, not for the disabled persons, but consider for the normal human being. If they're using, it might affect their privacy and they find it reluctant to share anything and their thoughts to other people. So it might be a demerit. I think so.
Okay, this is end of speaking section.